911.
I need the police here right now at Lake Isabella. They're taking us to Derek's body. I'm really scared.
A family's plea for help.
Now, get cops out here now, please, now, before somebody's killed again.
Help that would come too late.
God damn it!
Those who knew and loved 27-year-old Derek Wiley are still stunned at his brutal murder.
He was just a funny kid.
Derek's foster mom, May Lynn, raised Derek and his brother Taylor.
He's the only one of my kids that ever asked me to be his mom. And I still remember the look on his face when he asked me to be his mom. And I touched his cheek. I said, yeah, let's work on that.
Derek struggled with addiction and was no stranger to local police. He would routinely disappear at times, but when his family hadn't heard from him in weeks, they decided to go to police and file a missing persons report. Police initially did not take the report, saying there wasn't enough information and Derek was an adult.
But I wasn't surprised by it because I know it's a systemic issue for our people.
Statistics show Native men make up 75% of all Indigenous homicide victims.
Our men, they're missing a murder too. It seems like they keep being just left out of the conversation.
They're always talked about in the deficit. It's also asking, well, were they drinking? Are they an alcoholic? Are they a drug user?
Abigail Echohawk is with the Washington State Task Force for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and People.
It is a common story for police departments to not take the missing persons reports of Native people.
That's why our people have become experts at finding our own.
With no police support, that's exactly what Derek's family did. They launched their own search.
This is the house right here.
His brother Taylor started by tracking down the last people who saw Derek before he disappeared.
What about you, man? You all right?
Get up. I'm straight.
What's going on?
His cousins, Jordan and Jero Affo.
My name is Jero Affo.
Seen here on police body camera video during an unrelated disturbance call weeks prior.
Everything just happened so fast.
Taylor went to their home, hoping to find clues on where his brother was. Maybe they knew something important. Instead, he says he got a confession about the worst possible outcome.
I just asked him, I was like, where do you want me to go? I was like, where is he? And then he gripped my hand and he said, I killed Derek. I killed him. And as everything just kind of went numb.
Shaken, Taylor went to the Shelton Police Department for help, where he gave them this statement detailing Jero's confession.
He's like, I just choked him. I said, he's for sure not alive. No, he's not alive, man. He's not alive. I know he's not alive. I was sitting here looking at the eyes of somebody who just took my brother's life,
Derek's family say they begged Shelton PD for help in recovering his body and arresting his confessed killer. But that help was slow to come. Shelton police say it's because the crime scene wasn't in their jurisdiction.
Once we got that information that they were going there, we reached out to Mason County Sheriff's Office and said, hey, this is the information that we have. We immediately notified them. But it's their jurisdiction.
On their own again, the family continued their search to find their brother by convincing Jordan Affo to drive them to Derek. Jordan took the family to Lake Isabella State Park.
Jordan gets out and he had his head down and I was like, let's go find him.
Where he led them to Derek's dismembered remains.
How could you do this? What is wrong with you?
Taylor's grief at this moment is captured on audio recorded by the family.
I can't believe this.
I know this stuff.
I can't see Derek, man.
That's why I said we should wait for the cop. We butchered him.
The family's cries reflect a sobering, sad reality for many Indigenous families.
I know that is pain and that has been amplified as a result of the lack of resources, of the way that her family was dismissed, of the way that she has continued to struggle to get justice for her son.
We tried to get somebody to come out here with us.
I wish you guys would have waited for law enforcement to get there before we did this.
But then it might not have happened.
Got 5 officers and 1 canine. That'll be us tracking.
Roughly 2 hours after Jero's confession.
I can't see the body. He's somewhere underneath these logs. They hit him in the little, water area.
Body camera video shows police finally arriving.
Well, we're not really looking. We're waiting for the crime lab to get out here, but he's in pieces out here.
Jordan Jordan and Jero Affo were arrested that night.
Because she's praying up and he's praying down, right?
These days, Malin's grief has a physical form.
Morning prayers for our missing and murdered is one of the stone sculptures that we just had installed.
Stone carvings she created while grieving Derek now occupy a very public space in downtown Seattle.
You know, that rock was born like, I don't know, 15 million years ago. And that rock knew that my son was going to be murdered. And it knew it was going to be part of my healing process. And it knew it was going to be a voice for our people.
Spin it this way. I want the woman's face facing me.
Her voice is now a part of the state task force for missing and murdered Indigenous women and people.
That way the Thunderbird goes through the trees.
Pushing for more police accountability so no other family has to suffer like hers.
And it's going to take the people to uphold justice. The people to say, no, we want accountability and we want it now.
For Facing Race, I'm PJ Randhawa.